good song.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We got to know. We want to know. There's no death in that song. There's no backing down in that song.
Hallelujah.
It's I've got to know.
Yes, sir. God glory. Yes, sir.
I want to talk today about a warrior. I want to talk about becoming a warrior. See, there's a war. We're in a war. Every day,
Yes, indeed.
we're in a war. And the war is not on the outside, the war is on the inside.
Yes, yes.
And the war is between life and death.
Uh-huh.
It's a constant battle, not only on the inside, but all around us. But see, being a warrior is going to bring you out of wherever you are. It's going to push you through. See, God created us to be warriors. He created us to have that fight inside of us. And see, at the point at which we sit back and we watch things happen, and we don't like what's happening in our life, and we choose to sit there and watch those things happen, then the warrior that's inside of us has become a victim.
All right.
We were created as warriors. We was created to fight.
Yes.
We was created because in our fight, see, you can't have a victory unless you go through a fight.
Uh-huh.
There's no victory.
Yes, sir.
You can't win unless you step into the arena.
That's right.
And see, a lot of us are sitting on the outside of the arena because we don't want to fight the things that's coming to our lives. Because we think that we can't fight, or we think that thing that we have to fight is bigger than us.
Yes.
And that we're not prepared to fight it. And we're not prepared to move forward and on with our lives. So we sit there and we watch these things come before us and taunt us. And tell us that we're nothing. Tell us that we'll never accomplish anything. You'll never be anything. You're never going to leave your spot. You're never going to leave where you are right now. And see, all this is going on between our two ears and our mind. You see, a lot of times there's a pattern that's established in our life. And in that pattern, we're set to that pattern at a young age. We are placed on the path. We've talked about that before, at a young age, and it establishes who we become in life in the future. And see, what we're told and what we're taught is the foundation, as a child, is the foundation of what we are going to become. But the thing is, it don't matter what you was told and what you was taught. That's no excuse for you staying where you're at.
Yes.
Because God created something more for you. He didn't create you to be a loser or a victim. He didn't create you to sit stagnant and be dead where you're at. Because when you're stagnant and you're sitting still, there's death in that. There's death in stagnant water. You can't have life. You can't have fishes and turtles and all this stuff within stagnant water because it will die. And so what water are you? Because people's drinking of you. people is drinking of what's inside of you. They're drinking of the fountain that's inside of you. And they're either drinking stagnant water, which is death, or they're drinking rivers of life, which is a completely different message. But it's all the same. See, the warrior that's inside of us, every man has it. Every man has a warrior within inside of him. And then every man has a victim within inside of him. And the victim is the pain. The victim is the anguish. The victim is all the things that when you sleep at night that you think about. Or when you don't sleep at night. When you're up at night and all that pain and all that stuff that you carry and you just feel it in the pit of your stomach. That feeling that just makes you want to just curl up in the corner and just cry.
Yes.
That's the victim. But the warrior is the one who stands up and steps forward and says, my life is greater. David and Goliath. David stood up when nobody else would. He stood before man as a child that nobody else in the entire army would even think about standing up to. Why was he willing to stand up? Because that giant defiled and spoke against his God. It spoke against the God that he knew. And it was lies. And it was deceit. And everything he said, he was defiling his God. And I'm going to tell you, what's in your mind, these things that's running through your mind, is defiling your God. Because your God is not a victim.
Yes. Yes.
Your God is not one to back down.
Yes.
Your God is not one to sit there and let you get destroyed. But see, we destroy ourselves because we allow these vain imaginations, these things come into our mind. And these thoughts that come through our mind, these racing thoughts that tend to spiral out of control, instead of capturing those thoughts right then and taking hold of them and fighting those thoughts right then.
Yes.
We have to become warriors. Because once we become warriors within ourselves and within our minds, that'll transfer through our whole life. It'll transfer into your job. It'll transfer into your finances. It'll transfer into your family. And it'll change everything. So, whenever I was young, there was things in my life that I was surrounded by that was not God. As was each one of you. Everybody in here. And so, for my story, and everybody's story is different. But I want you to think about your story while I'm telling my story. Think about that thing in your life that you could not shake. Or maybe you still cannot shake. Something that happened to you. Something that was wrong. That you cannot get out of your mind. So I'm going to tell you my story. So the thing that happened to me is, as a child, I was brought up and I was taught a portion of things of God. But see, I was never good enough. I could never fill the shoes that was set before me. And in those shoes that I could never fill, because I tried and I tried and I tried. I tried to fill these shoes. I wanted to be good. Each one of us wanted to be good. We didn't want to turn out bad. We didn't want to turn out evil. We didn't want to become alcoholics or to become angry or become drug addicts. We did not want that. Actually, we wanted the opposite of that as children. But see, as a child, I wanted to fill those shoes because I wanted to be accepted. And see, everybody is striving to be accepted. And in me wanting to be accepted and me wanting just to be good enough, I could never do it. I could never make it. I could never meet the standard. And so what did I do? I turned against everything that I knew that was good. And I went for the bad. And while I'm going through the drugs, while I'm going through all this stuff, all the evil, all the corruption, what it is hell. I couldn't come out of that hell because I blamed the things that I was in on somebody else. I wanted to take all my pain and all my hurt and I wanted to blame it on somebody else. So I became a victim. And as I was a victim, I walked through life could never amount to anything. Because every time something would happen to me, I would always point the finger at somebody else. I would always say, no, it's because of this. It's because of this person. Well, it's because this happened to me. So in and out of jail, I'm blaming somebody else. I'm sitting in jail, blaming somebody else. That's why all the people in jail say they didn't do it. And they tell you, yeah, I stole it, but it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
But there's something to that. Because I had to blame somebody else for my situation that I was in because I was not comfortable where I was at. And the only way in my mind I could make myself feel comfortable about where I was at was to blame somebody else. Because that took the heat off of me. So now I'm comfortable about where I'm at. Only temporarily. Only for a short time I'm comfortable. And see, then something else is going to happen and you got to find somebody else to blame. Because you can't blame that person no more because they didn't have nothing to do with it. So you find somebody else to blame, or you find another situation to blame your current one on just so you can feel comfortable about where you are. Where I was in hell. And if you're in hell, you can't feel comfortable in hell.
Amen.
And all those things that you use in hell to give you temporary relief, they never last. And so in hell, we know what's in hell. It's weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth. That's where I was. There was no peace. So when there's no peace and there's no joy, then there's no victory. Because in a victory, when you win, there's all of those things. I'm happy. I won. I accomplished something. So there's no victory in being a victim. But see, there's strength in being a warrior. So whenever I was able to recognize that I even had a warrior inside of me. Because a warrior is fighting for a cause. A warrior is not just out there just running around like John Wayne. A warrior has a cause. A warrior has a reason. A warrior was established and put in place by somebody to do a certain duty. And see, when I figured out who established me, and I figured out who called me a warrior, was my Father in heaven. Established me as a warrior, as a son of God, because a son of God is not a victim.
That's right.
A son of God is a warrior.
Yes.
All through the Bible, you see warriors. You see these great men all through the Bible that absolutely dominate their opponents. I think of Joshua in Jericho. He was a warrior. He went in with a mission because he was on a mission assigned by God. And see, because he was assigned by God on this mission, he couldn't lose. And so, because he couldn't lose, because he knew who sent him, he was not a victim. Because when you know you're going to win, because you know who sent you, and you know that you're no longer focused on the pain of where you're at, of not being in the promised land. And you can focus on what is on the other side. Then your life will change 100%. Everything will change. And see, we're victims in many ways. We're victims not only in our own life, but we're victims in our marriages. We're victims in our relationships. And see, when you got two people becoming victims, you can't accomplish anything together. Because there's blame. Everybody's blaming each other. Well, you did. Well, you said this and it wasn't right. Well, you said this. And see, you'll wind up fighting about nothing. Nothing. And you'll be accomplishing nothing. You will be achieving nothing. So I got some attributes of a warrior and attributes of a victim wrote down here. And I'm going to take them one by one. Because each one is different from each other. So a warrior takes responsibility for his results. A warrior knows that when I do something, it has a result. Therefore, if I do something and I didn't get a good result, I need to do something different. I can't do the same thing I was doing. I need to do something different to get a different result. A victim blames, complains, and justifies why he got the result. So he wants to push it on somebody else. Or say, well, this is why this happened. Instead of taking responsibility for what happened. A warrior responds different to every circumstance. A warrior takes and he understands that in every battle, you have a different opponent. Therefore, when you have a different opponent, you have to use different techniques to win against each opponent. And every circumstance is not the same. But a victim, they try to make themselves look better. They try to put on a persona to make it look like this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to look like I'm doing it this way so that everybody will think that I've done something. So really they're not fighting their opponent. They're just trying to perceive as if they are, or as if they're better. A warrior knows the outcome they get is a reflection of the mindset, and they will change it to get the right response. They understand that if they go into a battle with the wrong mindset, then they have to change it. They will lose every time. If I'm upset during the day, and I go home to my wife, and she's upset, and we start arguing, nobody is going to do anything. It's absolutely for nothing. We're going to solve nothing. Because we have lost just before we ever got there. We lost the war because we were both in a bad state of mind. So when the situation arose, neither one of us were prepared to fight it because we had already lost. A lot of people has already lost before they even started because of their mindset, because of where they are, because I'll never be good enough. I can't do better. I can't is a victim's mindset. I can't. Those two words is two words that I hate. I hate those two words.
Yes, sir.
When one of the guys that's working with me, they say, well, I can't do that. It drives me crazy. Because you can do it.
Yes.
And you're about to do it. Right now.
That's right.
You're going to do that.
Come on now.
I'll prove to you that you can. Yeah, I'll help you do it, but you can do it, and you're going to do it. But see, we blame others for why we can't. How can I blame you for why I can't do something? But that's what we do. We put blame on others for why I am in this situation and why I can't move forward. But see, there's a warrior inside of you that says you can. You can have more. You can have a better job. You can move forward with your life and forget all the stuff that happened to you as a child.
Yes.
You can get rid of those crazy thoughts that's running through your head. You don't need drugs to do it.
Yes.
You can have an amazing life.
Yes.
Above average life. You can do that. And it don't matter where you're at in life. I think the hardest thing to do, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's trying to help his grandmother. And she's so set in her ways that she is destroying herself. Because she's so set in her ways. And he said, just whatever you do, he said this jokingly, he said, whatever you do, just don't get your mind so made up that when you get old that you won't be willing to change. And he said that jokingly, but I took it and had to think about that thing. I was forced to think about that because at the point at which you make your mind up that this is what it's going to be, this is what I am, for good or for bad, when you make your mind up, you are trapped. And see, when you live in that trap, that this was good enough for mama, and I'll be good enough, just enough to make it by, when you stay in that trap inside of your mind through your whole life, for you to look back and change your mind would mean that you have to accept that you were lying to yourself your whole life. That everything that you have said up until the point at which you had to make a choice to change your mind was a lie. And that's why it's so hard. As we progress in our life, it's hard for us the farther away we get from this mindset to come back and grasp it. But you can. You can. It's not I'm too far gone, I can't. No, you can.
Yes.
And you have to.
Yes.
Because when you grasp a hold of this, no matter where you're at, your life is going to prosper. Simply because you are changing the way you think. You are becoming from a victim to a warrior. Every aspect of your life will function around that I am a victor. I am going to win. I was in a situation last week where I had potential to lose about $7,000 on a job. But I didn't stress it. Why didn't I stress it? Because I'm a warrior.
Come on now.
It don't matter if I lose that $7,000. It don't matter if I gain that $7,000. No matter what, I'm not going to be stuck, and I'm going to get it back somewhere down the road because I'm a warrior. And I'm not made to lose.
All right.
So even in your loss, there is gain because of your mindset.
Yes.
And see, every situation and every time you fall down, it makes you stronger because now you know that this is what knocked me down last time when I was fighting. This situation has got this certain move that knocked me on my butt, but next time, he ain't going to get me with it.
All right, all right.
Because the situations ain't going to change. You're always going to run into something.
Yeah.
But it's how you deal with it.
Yes, yes.
What are you going to do? Study your opponent. Study the situations that come up in your life. That way when you see them again, you'll know how to fight them.
Yes, sir.
And see, before you know it, you do it subconsciously. It's not I have to think to fight this situation. No, it's just you see it and you knock it out before it's even started. That's your God.
Yes.
He has given us a warrior spirit inside of us. And we choose not to have it. If you know your God, then you'll know who you're fighting for.
Amen.
And if God is for me,
Amen.
then who can be against me?
Yes, sir.
Nobody. A victim feels like they're stuck. They can't control their thoughts. I've been there. I've been to the point where I couldn't control my thoughts. And all these thoughts, these negative things that's going through your brain, they just swirl around. And they grow. And they grow. And before you know it, you're walking through life and you're missing everything. All of what's in your head. I had laid face first on the floor before and thought I was going to lose my mind. face first on the floor, was losing my mind. Could not think because of my brain was spinning so fast. I was a victim because I didn't know that I was a warrior. I didn't know to get up off the ground. Because the fight inside of you, God give it to me.
Yes.
God give us a fight. And for us to walk through life and not fight, we've lost everything. You have everything to gain from this moment right now forward. And from this moment. And from the next one and the next one. All you have to do is become a warrior and gain. Conquer the land. And it starts here. And once you conquer your own land, once you conquer that battlefield that's in your mind and you're able to change the way you think, to repent, to change the way you think, and change your mind from I can't to I will. Not from one day, from maybe to when I. Because I will.
Yes.
Watch your words. The words that come out of your mouth are powerful.
Yes.
They cut and they divide. You frame up your whole world with the words that come out of your mouth. Because what comes out of your mouth is what is in your head. And what is in your head is what is in your heart. You change your speech. You change your mind. You change your mind. You change your heart. When you change your heart, you change others. And you change everything around you. Everything will change. Work on your mind. The battle is right here. You win this battle, you've won them all. You can't never lose again if you win this battle right here. Miss Kelly, Ephesians 6:10 through 18. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. In high places. What's the highest part on your body? It's your head. That's where this is happening. In the highest place. Spiritual wickedness. Principalities. Rulers of darkness in this world. Why is that in our mind? Because we haven't fought it to get it out of our mind. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day. Withstand in the evil day. When is the evil day?
Yeah.
When is the evil day? An evil day is whenever you feel like you can't make it. You are at your bottom. So that this don't kill you, you take on the whole armor of God. So when that day comes, when my father died, that was an evil day. But I had to put on the whole armor of God.
Yes, sir.
So that I could move forward.
Amen.
So that we could move forward.
Yes, yes.
So that I didn't fall out. Because people ask me, well, did you ever think about going back to do drugs? No.
Yes, yes.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Come on now.
Why? Because I had a helmet of salvation on.
Come on now.
That didn't even it didn't even cross my mind because I was looking forward at the battle ahead of me.
God, glory.
I didn't have time to stand here and sit in the corner and mope
Yes, yes.
and cry because I had a battle that was coming my way. It was coming to
Yes,
me
sir. Yes, sir.
fast. I had an opponent that was running as fast as he could right at me with weapons.
Yes.
And I had to be ready and I had to run and charge back at it.
Yes, sir.
Because I could have stood there and let it overtake me
Uh-huh.
and been destroyed in that.
Come on now.
And a lot of people did, but I won't.
Ah, yes,
Because I know my God.
yes, sir.
And I know that anything that come after that,
Uh-huh.
because see, that situation made me stronger. And all the other situations I've been through in my life and that you've been through, those situations make you stronger.
Yes.
They make you better.
Uh-huh.
Be thankful in all things. Be thankful that you was there. Be thankful that you had to fight that opponent. Be thankful you had to fight that situation because when you made it through it,
Huh?
the knowledge that you gained is more valuable than anything.
Yes, yes.
I would have nothing if I wouldn't have went through the hell I went through.
Uh-huh.
I maybe would have went to college, got straight A's, done everything right, but I would have nothing.
Uh-huh.
Because what I've gained here and here
Come on,
from
man.
that hell propelled me into my future.
Yes, yes.
And I would do it again. I would do it again to have what I have now.
Amen.
People say, oh, well, don't you wish you could take that back? No. All the evil I did, all the bad that I did, all the hurt that I caused, it brought me where I am.
Yes, yes.
There's a warrior inside of you.
Yes, sir.
A warrior. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. Your loins. Your loins. That feeling that you get when things are falling apart.
Uh-huh.
That sick feeling you get whenever you're just in the worst place you can imagine and you just feel it all over your loins. Have those protected and girt about with truth.
Yes.
So when you feel that feeling, you know that that's not truth. Because that's fear.
Uh-huh.
Something that's not even real is why you're feeling that. The only reason you feel that is because of fear of what might happen.
Uh-huh.
But see, if you got truth, truth overcomes fear. And now you're on the winning side instead of the losing side. So whenever you're able to take that feeling and gird it with truth, that hey, this is not real. This hasn't even happened yet. You put your loins girded with truth and having on a breastplate of righteousness. The breastplate covers your heart.
Yes.
What's in your heart? Righteousness. right standing with God is in your heart. And because you're right in your heart, and it's covered with a breastplate of righteousness. What's the opposite of righteousness? Unrighteousness. When you're unrighteous, you're wide open. You're wide open to be attacked in your heart. By what? By vain imagination. By things that cause pain. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Because you have a purpose. You protect your feet because you got somewhere to go. If you were sitting still, you don't need shoes on. You don't need shoes on if you're not walking. If you don't have a path to go down.
Come on.
Why do I need shoes? I'm not doing nothing. And see, that path that you're going to walk down is a path of peace. It's peace. I'm not worried about what's around the corner. It's peace. But above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. See, the helmet of salvation is, it redeems you. It's, you were here, but now you're over here. It takes you from bad to good. From hell to God. And see, whenever we repent, we have salvation of our mind, because of the things we're looking to ain't the things we used to be looking to. We have been saved from that. And see, the fiery darts of the wicked is still in your mind. It's those things that maybe you was told when you were a child that still ring in your ears, that you're not good enough, that you'll never be anything. You're no good. You're trash. I wish you wouldn't have been born. All those things that ring through your mind are the fiery darts. And the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. We have the tools we need. The tools are the things that you, every time you win against an opponent, you pick up new tools. You pick up his tools. When you win against a situation, you're taking on new tools to the next battle. Be thankful for the things that you went through, because you have a pocket full of tools that's going to help you on the next one. Don't let situations make you a victim. Instead, be a victor. Be a warrior. You are a warrior.
Yes.
That's exciting to me, because I've seen it. I've seen it in my life, and I see what it's doing to my life when I don't approach situations the same way I used to. Whenever something happens, I don't get all bent out of shape. Yesterday, I threw something off of my truck and knocked the mirror slam off of my truck. Just knocked the whole thing off. And you know what? Kara and Ashley was out there, and she was looking for me. I could tell she was just watching just to see what I was going to do. But she was watching, and I knew it. And this ain't why I did it. But I just laughed. A year ago, I wouldn't have laughed. I'd have picked that mirror up, and I would have thrown that thing, and I'd have probably kicked my truck, put another dent in it. But see, that situation ain't nothing. That's a small example. And see, I used to get bent out of shape over something like that. And see, whenever you do something and that cause and effect, because now everything I touch is going to be destruction. Because it's not inside of me to be a warrior and know that even though I've knocked that mirror off the truck, you know what? I got money to fix it. And I know how to fix it. I can fix it. Next time I'm not going to throw that big old thing off my truck like that again. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get somebody to help me. Life is too short to be a victim. And it's too good not to be a warrior.
Go ahead.
Amen.
Go ahead.
Because what you have to conquer is everything. Your dreams. What you used to aspire to be. What you want to become is all ahead of you, and all you got to do is go get it. It's set before you. It's inside of you. And the only reason you won't accomplish it is for lack of being a warrior and being a victim and blaming somebody else. Go get it as hard as you can. When you see an open door, you run through it. Don't peek through it. Run through it with everything you got. Everybody's on Facebook. Stop looking at other people's lives and look at your life. You're writing a story every day. Facebook, that's what it is. You are writing a story every day of your life. Not on Facebook.
Right.
What are people going to remember you as? The one who sat there and accomplished nothing and always complained about where they were in their life and always sat there angry and mad about where they were? Or are you the one that creeps up to the door and peeps in but is scared to go in? Or are you the one that just busts the hinges off the door the second it opens?
Go ahead.
Because you're going somewhere.
Yes.
Life is too good.
Yes, Lord.
Write your story. Leave a legacy. What's going to be left when you get done? What's left? What are you leaving behind you for other people? Because you're going to leave a victim mindset for them, or you're going to leave a warrior mindset for them. One of the two. And they'll take you two different ways. Let's all stand. God, I thank you for this awesome day. Beautiful day. I thank you for the tools. I thank you, God, for the hell that I went through. I am grateful for all the hell that I went through. I'm grateful that I'm no longer a victim. We are no longer victims. I thank you for the tools that we've been given for a great future in you. And let this next week Let us think about becoming a warrior. Let us strive to be a warrior. In every situation, when something bad happens, the first thing we think about is this message right here. Let us ask ourselves in every situation, am I being a victim or a warrior? I praise you for all of this beautiful life you've given us. I thank you for this day. I pray we'll have a good evening and we'll come back together tonight and we'll do it all again. Thank you. Amen.